There is a particular kind of invisibility that comes not from being overlooked, but from being so essential that people stop seeing you entirely. Like the foundation of a building. Nobody looks at the foundation. Nobody talks about the foundation. But without it, everything above it collapses. This is a story about a foundation. And what happened when she decided to stop holding things up. Ananya met Rohan when they were both 22. Fresh out of university. Both ambitious. Both certain the world was waiting for them. They fell in love the way young people do, completely, without stopping to ask whether they were falling in the same direction. For the first 3 years, everything moved together. They built a life in a small apartment. They worked different jobs. They talked every evening about what they were going to become. And somewhere in those conversations, a pattern formed, so quietly, so naturally, that neither of them named it for a long time. Rohan had the ideas. Ananya made them work. He would come home electric with some new vision. A business he wanted to start, a project he wanted to pitch, and Ananya would listen. And then she would do something extraordinary. She would take the vision, rough and incomplete, and she would fill them in. She researched the market. She built the financial model. She wrote the proposal. She found the first clients. She set up the systems that made delivery possible. She was the reason the ideas became real things. And Rohan, to his credit in those early years, knew it. He said it often, to her, in private, "I could not do any of this without you." The problem was that he never said it anywhere else. By year 5, Rohan's company was growing, a boutique consultancy that had built a quiet reputation for delivering results. Ananya was not a named partner. She had never asked to be. She managed the operations. She managed the client relationships. She managed the finances. She managed the team. She managed everything that happened after Rohan walked out of a pitch meeting having impressed someone, and before the work was actually delivered. But on the website, there was one name. In the press interviews, there was one voice. At the industry events, there was one face. And it was not hers. She told herself she did not mind. She told herself she was not built for the spotlight. She told herself that what mattered was the work, not the credit. She told herself this for 7 years. The moment things shifted was not dramatic. It never is. It was a Tuesday afternoon. Ananya was on a call with one of their longest-standing clients, a man who had been working with the company for 4 years, who she had spoken to personally every single month for 4 years, who she had problem-solved with at midnight, on a deadline, on 3 separate occasions. And he said something, casually, without thinking. He said, "Rohan really is something special, isn't he? You must be proud to work for him. Work for him. Not with him. Not beside him. For him." She said, "Yes, he really is." And she hung up the phone and sat very still. For a long time, that evening, she did not bring it up with Rohan. She made dinner. She listened to him talk about a new pitch he was excited about. She asked the right questions. She cleared the table. And when he went to his office to prepare his notes, she sat at hers. And she started writing. Not a confrontation. Not a list of grievances. A document. She called it What I Actually Do. And she wrote it all down. Every function she performed. Every system she had built. Every client she managed. Every problem she had solved. Every hour she had spent making someone else's name mean something. It took her 4 hours. When she finished, she read it back. And she realized something she had suspected for a long time, but had never allowed herself to say clearly. The company did not run because of Rohan. The company ran because of her. Rohan was the face. She was everything behind it. And the face, without what was behind it, was just a photograph. She did not act immediately. She spent 3 months watching, paying attention in a new way, noticing every meeting where her contribution was absorbed into his narrative, every email where she drafted the words, and he sent them under his name, every strategy session where her thinking became his insight. She was not angry. She was awake. For the first time in 7 years, fully awake. And once you see something clearly, you cannot unsee it. She told Rohan on a Sunday morning, calmly, over coffee. She said, "I have been thinking about what I want the next chapter to look like." He assumed she meant for the company. She meant for herself. She said she wanted to be formally recognized as a partner, or she was going to leave and build something independently, not as a threat, as information. He laughed, not cruelly, but with the particular confidence of someone who has never once considered that the thing holding everything together might simply choose to let go. He said, "You would not do that." He said, "Where would you even start?" He said, "Everything you know came from this company." She looked at him for a long moment, and then she said, "Everything this company knows came from me." She left 4 months later. She did not take clients. She did not make a scene. She did not say a single negative word publicly. She simply stopped. She packed her desk quietly and walked out. And within 60 days, the thing Rohan had built began to show what it was made of without her. Deadlines were missed. Client calls went unreturned. 2 accounts that had been with the company for years quietly moved elsewhere. Not to her, just away, because the relationship they had was never really with Rohan. It was with whoever it was that actually picked up the phone and knew their name and remembered what mattered to them. And that person was no longer there. Ananya started her own consultancy 8 months after leaving. She named it herself. Her name, her vision, her rules. Within the first year, 3 of the clients who had quietly left Rohan's company found her. Not because she had reached out, because they had been looking. By year 2, her company had 6 people. Every one of them knew exactly who was running things and why it worked. There were no invisible foundations in her company. Every person was seen. Every contribution was named. Because she knew, from 11 years of personal experience, exactly what it costs when it is not. I want to tell you something before we finish. Rohan's company still exists. It is smaller now. It has struggled to find its footing in the years since she left. But I am not telling you that because I want you to feel satisfied by it. I am telling you because I think there is something important in it. When you remove the person who actually makes something work, reality has a way of making that visible. You do not have to say anything. You do not have to prove anything. You just have to leave and let the absence speak. Ananya told me something when I asked her what she would say to someone in her position. She said, "The most dangerous thing you can do is make yourself so indispensable to someone else's story that you forget you are the author of your own." Before you go, I want to ask you something, and I want you to sit with it before you answer. Have you ever been so good at making someone else look successful that you disappeared in the process? Leave your answer in the comments, because I believe more people are living this quietly than anyone is talking about. Her name is on the contract now. Her name on everything. The foundation visible at last. Woman at her window. Everything hers. No longer invisible. She wrote it down. The most dangerous thing you can do. She will not forget it. Her team. Her office. Her mornings. Built exactly the way she always knew it should be. The quiet satisfaction of someone who stopped holding someone else up and built something of her own. If this story stayed with you, hit subscribe. Every week on Quiet Reckoning, one real story. One truth. One reckoning. The 2 worlds side by side. His struggling, hers thriving. Reality making itself visible without a single word from her. The next story is already on your screen. I will see you there.